Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. You simply cannot make this up. The US Labor Department just revised the 12-month job growth lower by 818,000 jobs. Let me just say that again because even I have a difficult time putting this in perspective. The US Labor Department just announced a massive downward revision of its previously published data that had already been revised on a monthly basis. And as it turns out, there were 818,000 fewer jobs than they had reported. The revision means that the US economy actually created 818,000 fewer jobs than reported initially. This revision is as of the end of the first quarter of this year, as of March the 31st, 2024. The downward adjustment of 0.5% is actually the largest since 2009. So there's absolutely no telling what the cumulative misrepresentation, or to be more precise, what the cumulative overstatement of the past, let's say, 4 years actually is. This also means that the labor market is far worse than we even expected it to be. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said the actual job growth was nearly 30% less than the initially reported. To put this number in perspective, the downward revision is more than the population of San Francisco, for example. So is it finally time? Is it finally safe to say that the data we've been fed all this time is simply unreliable, that it is inaccurate? Also, please keep in mind that this massive revision, the second largest on record, is in addition to those smaller monthly revisions that we have already gotten used to. This overestimating and then subsequently revising the data downward has become a norm. First, the data is reported, and the mainstream media cheerfully applauds the resilience of our labor market and the accomplishments of Bidenomics, quote unquote. Then, when everyone has already moved on with their lives and is focused on the next big news, on the next big thing, the prior month data is revised much lower. It sounds well too familiar, doesn't it, by now? So this is very, very concerning to say the least. Let's take a quick look at the latest report. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics released this report today, August the 21st. This report represents a preliminary revision, with the final annual revision expected to be released in February of 2025. The preliminary revision shows a massive downward adjustment to March 2024 total non-farm employment of 818,000 jobs. Out of that amount, the industry sector that lost the highest number of jobs was professional and business services, where employment was revised down by 358,000 jobs, followed by leisure and hospitality, the second largest downward revision of 150,000 jobs. Some people may argue that, well, these revisions are very common, they're a yearly practice from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And it is partially true. Sure, the revisions are fairly standard. The BLS does a broader revision each year when it gets the results of the quarterly census of employment and wages. Nevertheless, let's try not to miss the point here. What's concerning is the number of jobs lost that were never created in the first place. Once you see it as sort of a timeline, you will notice that a revision of 818,000 jobs is quite unusual. As you can see here, the most recent revision is by far the worst one since 2019. In 2018, it is worth pointing out, there was a positive upward adjustment. That downward revision of 309,000 jobs in 2023 is for the entire year. The revision in question of 818,000 jobs is only as of March 2024. So I would be very, very curious to see the final revision, the final version of the report that is scheduled to be released in February of next year. As you can see, now we officially understand that the economy created fewer jobs than originally reported. The labor market data has been inaccurate, and you have to wonder then what data the Federal Reserve has been basing its decisions on. Given that the most recent July jobs report was much weaker than forecasted, I am curious to see what August brings. July was the second weakest report in 4 years since 2020, including a considerable uptick in unemployment numbers during the period. So overall, this is extremely concerning, and it points to the fact that something we've known for a long time now, that we have been in a recession and it will likely only get worse. Now, the timing of the massive 818,000 jobs revision is interesting. The Jackson Hole Symposium is beginning this Friday, August the 23rd. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is expected to share his commentary, and he is expected to hint at possible rate cuts, and I presume he would have to address the labor market weakness. And I will be sure to keep you updated, of course, whether on YouTube, on Rumble, or over on my Substack. I haven't really decided yet. My final thoughts on this revision is that this year in particular, downward revisions have been extremely high. This is partially the reason why people are becoming more disillusioned with the official data, and there is a significant loss of confidence in everything that we hear and everything that we're being told, because when we contrast that with the reality, including those inflation numbers, for example, when we see that groceries have actually gone up at least 20%, we understand that there is a gap between what we're being told and the reality. And so as the result, people lose confidence. It is fair to say that the downward revision of this magnitude is effectively the BLS admitting that it has been overestimating, that it has been overstating job numbers for months now. And you have to ask, when you post monthly job numbers, then you revise them, and then you revise them again, what is the reason for that? I understand that the first revision was necessary, sure, it happens, but how many times does it take to get it right? The Federal Reserve is now expected to cut rates by at least 25 basis points, possibly more, at the next meeting. There's no denying the fact that the labor market is not as strong, let's just put it that way, as it was pictured to be, so there is a strong expectation of rate cuts, which worked to boost today's market performance, by the way. Thank you for watching. I hope this quick video was helpful. I hope that I helped you understand the revisions and how they work and the importance of what just happened. Please show your support. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. It goes a long way. Consider sharing the video and subscribe both on Rumble and on YouTube. I would love to have you back for my next one tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.